GitHub repository complexity leads to diminished web archive availability. Web archiving is extremely important, especially in this day and age of AI, because what happens now is people no longer use traditional search engines vast majority of the time now. I would argue, I don't actually have the data on this, but I think it's pretty clear that at least far fewer people, how about that? Far fewer people are using traditional search engines. Traditional search engines tended to rely on actual web pages, actual blog posts, stuff that actually lived somewhere on a server that somebody created, usually by hand. Not so anymore. Now what happens is that you use AI to pick apart all that data that you used to be able to access yourself, and it compiles it essentially. It just puts it together for you in a way that's a bit more parsable for you. It's compressed and you can read it a bit easier, right? And so when you're thinking of AI and a lot of the issues that I've covered in the past here, for example, AI hallucinates a lot because it's not a raw database search, then you're going to want to, in some cases, go check the source. Like, how did you come to the conclusion that you came to, AI? And what are you going to do? Well, you can't really look at the training data, right? So you're going to have to rely on the traditional method of getting access to information to confirm it, which is to go to the source of the information. And web archives are super important because they maintain a source of information even after a website goes down, or maybe it disappears, or maybe it's sometimes it gets paywalled, whatever the case might be. But because of the third-party dependency chains, we've created such a complex web of paradigms that we pull together to create this stuff that archivability is becoming far less feasible, which means that it's becoming sometimes impossible. According to the study, there are some cases where I think it's right here, 1.6% exhibited major page damage, which means that there is a huge portion of them that are so damaged you can't have a good recoverability. Less than 5% of source files were archived on average. So this is becoming like very, very difficult to maintain a history of source information, especially with the advent of AI and the amount of insanity and third-party complexities. It talks about CSS, even things like I believe they even talk about Tailwind in here. I can't remember correctly here, but they go into it. We're not going to read it all because that's not the point of this stream. But it's all here, and I think this is actually a very serious issue, and it's just another reason why I encourage developers, stop relying on third parties and complexities. Stop relying on third-party complexities. This is stuff that's sold to you as you're too stupid to deal with anything by yourself. There is an expert who has solved problems for you. Why would you want to go and solve these problems by yourself? And that's just not true. In a vast majority of the cases, that's not true. And most of these kinds of complexities that happen in programming are based on people's preference, not based on what actually happens when you execute code. We have to get back to fundamentals, and we have to, at the very, very least, I would even be okay if we persuaded more people to take some time and thoroughly audit what the hell they're importing. That would be my bare minimum. Just have the wherewithal to and buy out some time. And this plays well into the hands of, let's say, greedy capitalists. If you want to make money, then allow your developers some time to ensure that the things that they're importing are secure as they can be. Licensing isn't a problem. Performance stuff isn't a problem. Even if you do a modicum amount of those kinds of audits, even if you can't check everything, at least try, please. That would be way better than what we're doing now. Ghost